dropping from the sky, military helicopters flying overhead, and a special focus on one area.
We're very concerned about our coast and our coastal communities because they're going to get the double whammy.
It's called Cascadia Rising. Across the region, thousands of people are working together to make sure we're as ready as possible for the big one when it comes. I'm Eric Johnson in the KOMO News Studios.
And I'm Molly Shen, live at Camp Murray, where I got a first-hand look today at what the massive military response would look like after that 9.0 earthquake. Let me set up today's scenario for you. It has been 5 days since the quake and a tsunami hit. Thousands of people are hurt or stranded, and in some cases, the only way to reach them is by helicopter.
Altimeter 2993 wind.
We're aboard a Black Hawk helicopter with the Washington National Guard, and in this mega quake scenario, it's the only way to reach a key communication post. Sanderson Field in Shelton would likely be one of 7 hubs to coordinate the emergency response.
We'll move east to west and then slowly move towards the coast to get out there to conduct life-saving and prevention of human suffering as fast as we can.
And this is their way in. Paratroopers would drop into the hardest hit areas for search and rescue missions. Their home base was specifically chosen, far enough from the tsunami zone and potentially protected from the earthquake.
We think that this area would survive the earthquake, given what the scientists tell us. And so this is something that's going to be critical for us out here on the Olympic Peninsula to fly in personnel and equipment and supplies.
It's not all airborne. Major roadways would likely be crippled, but the Guard still expects to drive in some supplies and people on heavy trucks.
They go good through the mud, water, sand.
So if the roads go out?
Yeah, we can definitely use alternative roads.
The command post also includes a mobile hospital.
So this is our trauma area. We have 4 trauma beds. We take 4 patients at a time.
Within 3 hours of hitting the ground, medical staff can start treating the walking wounded and major traumas.
We want to be able to be flexible enough and prioritize things enough so that we can treat the most life-threatening injuries first.
Already the largest earthquake drill in state history, it will end with an exhaustive review to improve the plan and keep practicing until it has to happen for real. A major quake on the Cascadia subduction zone is expected to happen every 200 to 500 years, and the colonel told us today that by some estimates, it's been more than 300 years since the last one, and that means we are due. Now, getting ready for the big one sometimes looks more subdued than what we experienced today. At this Emergency Operations Center on Vashon Island today, responders coordinated how they'd respond to a mega quake. Island living poses extra obstacles. Roughly 11,000 residents would quickly run out of food, water, and medicine.
All of these kinds of problems boil into a big mess that we somehow have to solve. Get our reds and
Responders are figuring out how to sustain the community with very few resources. If a big earthquake and tsunami were to hit, this is where people in Grays Harbor County want to be. The brand new Acosta Elementary School in Westport is the nation's first tsunami evacuation shelter. It's built to withstand the ocean surge, and it's strong enough to shelter as many as 2,000 people on the roof, which sits more than 50 feet above sea level. There will be a ribbon-cutting ceremony this Saturday. Now, how about this idea, riding out a major earthquake inside the new Bertha Tunnel? Now, when it's finished, that might not sound so ideal, but project managers tell us that that structure can withstand a big quake.
The tunnel was designed to be safe in a magnitude 9.0 earthquake. So in the event that we have a big shaking event, the tunnel is a safe place to be.
Now, they say the benefit to tunnels is that they move with the ground. That means they rise and fall as the ground moves while staying intact, while above ground structures like the viaduct undergo so much stress they can break apart. And of course, that fear of what would happen to the viaduct and the other structures around us is why so much time and effort has gone into creating this week's drill. Eric, we'll have more on the Cascadia Rising exercises coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
Impressive stuff, Molly, and somewhat comforting, too, to know that all of that is coming together. Thank you. We'll talk to you later in the show. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office says detectives are searching several sites trying to find Gail Doyle. She's been missing for exactly 1 week now, but they're not